gave me inspiration on it, but I did want to know what there was out there already, of course.
Yes, yeah.
I mean, I read science fiction, and there's a genre now called cli-fi. I hate the expression. And I looked around, I read quite extensively actually around cli-fi. I don't know whether it's actually added much, to be honest, but yes, I certainly wanted to know what was already being written. Very impressed by stuff, but in a prose novel you can cover a lot more ground. I mean, you produce a very different sort of story. I mean, Kim Stanley Robinson, I don't know if anybody reads, but he produces these trilogies. You know, I couldn't hope to do anything remotely like his Washington trilogy, which is about climate change. It's amazing. It's a wonderful book, you know, but it's 3 volumes like that. It's a different sort of undertaking altogether.
And is that set in a contemporary world, or?
No, it's set in the near future. Well, it was set in the near future. I mean, the calendar's catching up with it now. I also really enjoyed Barbara King's solo book called Flight Behaviour, which is a single, standalone novel set in North America about climate change, but set more or less now, and looking at small-scale local impact, which is interesting, on obviously global events. The flight behaviour is behaviour of butterflies. It centres on the monarch butterfly and the disruption of that at the cycle, the kind of migration cycle. But I mean, I don't think it actually affected what I was doing. It gave me a sense of what was going on out there.
Can I throw it open really to our audience here? Are there any, if you've got any questions on any aspect of rain that you'd like to pose to Mary and Bryan?
I'm going to get a crick in the neck.
Oh yes.
You've class has been a really strong element in each of your works that you've done. And I see touching upon it here when you talk about the grouse shooting, but did you feel there was an element you would want to go into further there that you weren't able to in the book? I'm just thinking if it had been, rather than Hempton, if it had been Henley, which would be, we might have seen there changes, you know, is that sort of comment? Do you feel there's an issue there that you want to explore further?
I do actually try and spread it out a little bit. I mean, I've not mentioned fracking. Fracking is another issue. And there's Kath's father, who lives in the south of England, I think it's probably Surrey.
It's supposed to be Surrey, yeah.
Is, he's one of these NIMBYs to start with, you know, not in my backyard people, who is very middle class, I guess. I haven't really explicitly placed him class-wise. He's initially not wanting to get involved, although he's worried about exploratory drilling going on in his neighbourhood. He doesn't want to get involved, but then eventually he does. I mean, that's another element of resistance. So I tried to get it geographically diverse, but I don't know that I've really focused particularly on, other than it being obviously rich people and poor up there in the hill, and poor people down in the valley below suffering from what the rich people are doing. I don't know that I've taken it further than that.
Back to people. Any other questions? Yeah?
I wondered whether both of you feel like graphic fiction gives an opportunity for a campaigning novel, for an enlightenment that prose novel doesn't, and in what way?
More visual.
But they're a lot more accessible, a lot more easily accessible than prose fiction. And they can put a message over a lot quicker, a lot faster. And you can put actually quite a lot of complicated, complex information over using a mixture of words and pictures together. I think about the soil health then, I think just showing all little things, you don't have to talk about them all. You can just see them and they go straight in there through a different channel.
I think that's a really good question. I do wonder, Mary, I can see, you know, and Bryan, I can see there's really fantastic scope to use this novel in a whole range of settings, but very much in an educational setting. Have you explored that, or has, I mean, this novel only was published last week, so it's incredibly early days, but I wondered if you'd had any of those conversations.
I hope to. No, haven't done yet, but certainly hope to, yes. I mean, we've been contacted by a landscape architect who was very interested, on the basis that we were on BBC World Service last weekend. He was one of these people who has that on all the time. And on the basis of hearing us talk about it, he wants to include a piece on it in the magazine. So it'll be sort of getting landscape architects to think of it. And they are actually an important group in that they are supposedly very engaged, but they're engaged on paper. They make declarations about what we must do for the climate catastrophe, but aren't necessarily very good at acting on it. Although there is an initiative called Slow the Flow Calderdale, which landscape architects are busily involved with. But I think in terms of particular groups of expertise like that, as for schools, I would love them to go into schools, but I don't see why not.
Yes.